Good evening, I'm Mark Wilson.
And I'm Allie Corey. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, Allie. It's a big day for us here at Fox 13. It's also a big day for State Trooper Tony Shuck. That's first at 6 tonight. Today was her first day back on the job, now fully recovered after her heroic actions back in March. You probably remember her story. She's credited with saving so many lives that morning, ramming an accused drunk driver who was speeding right towards a crowd of joggers who are heading towards the Skyway Bridge. As Fox 13's Dan Maddox reports for us tonight, her wounds have healed, and she tells us she's excited to be back where she belongs, protecting and serving.
After risking her life to potentially save thousands of lives, Trooper Tony Shuck told us today she's had a bit of a bumpy road to recovery, but she is excited to be returning to full duty today. Trooper Tony Shuck greeted with a big hug by one of her colleagues as Tuesday she returned to full-time duty.
If they still want to call the hero, that's great, again, but it was my job.
In March, nearly 7,000 people were running the Skyway 10K race when investigators say 52-year-old Kristen Watts was drunk 3 times over the legal limit. They say she blew past the barricades, and that is when Trooper Shuck turned her patrol SUV around, risking her own life, ramming the woman's vehicle to keep the runners safe.
You know, you reflect every day, and like I've said before, I'm glad it was me. I'm glad that nobody else got hurt.
Both vehicles were destroyed, and both Trooper Shuck and Watts were hospitalized. Trooper Shuck had been recovering from a head wound and a concussion, but as of Tuesday is back on full duty.
Part of my recovery was, you know, I wasn't working, and then I went to light duty, and I was at the station, and, you know, the guys are running in and out, and I'm like, take me. But again, it was all part of the process, and I'm just glad I got to where I am, to where I could come back to full duty.
As for the accused drunk driver, Kristen Watts was sent by a judge to a state mental hospital after being found incompetent to stand trial. Trooper Shuck says she has mixed thoughts about that decision, but she respects the process. Thankful for the support, she wants this to highlight the good in law enforcement, setting an example for younger women.
There's a lot of press about law enforcement, and unfortunately a lot of it is negative. Just realize I didn't know who was on that bridge. It didn't matter what color, what ethnicity, what language they spoke. I was there to protect all of them. It didn't matter.
Her focus will now be patrolling commercial vehicles on the major highways throughout the Tampa Bay region. In Pasco County, Dan Maddox, Fox 13 News.